You've been watching this for a long time. How quickly or slowly would you say SpaceX is able to move when it makes a decision to sort of build?
This just started like 2-3 months ago. They move really fast. They work 24/7 around here. Concrete's always flowing, steel's always being erected. They don't waste any time.
This is Starbase, Texas. It's a company town and the headquarters of Elon Musk SpaceX, where hundreds of residents work, live, and sleep. A small army of staff and contractors pour into the site every day from neighboring areas, including Brownsville, the biggest city in Texas's Rio Grande Valley and historically one of the poorest places in the US. At Starbase, SpaceX has been developing a factory, test sites, and launch pads for Starship, the massive rocket it hopes one day will take crews to Mars.
Ignition.
This is also mission control for SpaceX's roughly $1.8 trillion IPO, expected to be the largest in history. Many employees at Starbase stand to make small fortunes, injecting immense wealth into a region already straining to accommodate Elon Musk's grand ambitions.
I think we're gonna have instant millionaires because of the IPO. There's 19,000 plus cities in the United States. I say 99% of those cities in the US wish they had that opportunity that we've had here in the last few years.
Locals cannot tell SpaceX what they can and can't do, and they've never been able to do that.
I run an IT business down here, but this is actually taking up most of my time now. This following SpaceX down here has turned into like a triple overtime job.
Louis Balderas runs a YouTube channel called Avid Space, which operates cameras that track parts of Starbase 24/7. SpaceX has been a private company for more than 20 years and is famously cautious with how it engages with the public and press. Company trackers like Balderas help fill in the gaps.
How would you say this site has changed in the last 6-7 years?
They started out with just a few tents and a small launch pad. Now it's it's literally a city over here now with all the new condos, apartment complexes, the additions to the mega bay.
What does SpaceX use the high bays for?
The high bays and mega bays are being used to build the boosters and the starships. They used to build it out in the wide open.
Yeah.
And I guess they also keep us from watching.
SpaceX has had a presence in Cameron County, home to Starbase and Brownsville, since 2014. Back then, the company planned to use the site to launch Falcon 9 rockets, but it later switched to building and flying its Starship vehicles there. In 2024, Musk announced that Starbase would also become SpaceX's new headquarters. Starbase's footprint is limited now, but the city is looking to expand. Municipal leaders want to add more than 7,000 acres nearby. A single state highway is the only road that connects Brownsville with Starbase and Boca Chica Beach, which gets shut down during launches. Last year, SpaceX staff and eligible family members voted to form a new municipality covering the property, giving them the rights and powers of their own local government. Since 2016, Eddie Trevino Jr. has served as Cameron County judge, its top governing official, and worked closely with SpaceX as the company's operations grew.
There's no hiding the fact that it's a company town. There's no mystery to that and what its goal is, but I think based upon the history and the working relationship that we've had from the county with SpaceX overall and now with Starbase, I think we've built up a good enough history and relationship and rapport. It cannot just be that SpaceX is coming down here to literally take the resources, reap the benefit, and then leave the community without any reward.
Starbase has set up services to support SpaceX employees and their families living on site, including an emergency management organization, police department, and even a local court. Also in development, a new park and amenities building, as well as a school for the kids of SpaceX employees called Ad Astra.
Getting engineers to move, I call it the significant other problem.
Yes. So significant others have jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So for Starbase, that was particularly difficult.
Yes.
Since the odds of finding a non-SpaceX job
in Brownsville, Texas,
pretty low. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult. I mean, it's like a technology monastery sort of thing. Remote and mostly dudes.
The SpaceX effect is showing up beyond the confines of Starbase. Brownsville has historically struggled with poverty, and the unemployment rate in the area currently hovers 2 points above the national average. But SpaceX employees and contractors are injecting new spending into the community, and tourists from around the world show up to watch Starship launches. The city's downtown has murals referencing space and Elon Musk.
What's interesting about this area of Brownsville, Texas, I mean, for decades, it was always somewhat of a sleepy border town. Our economy was tied to the Mexican peso, but now it's really about space and energy. And that's really taken this whole region to a whole different level.
This would be a one-bedroom. So
This is a one-bedroom.
Yeah, so this would be a living room here, the kitchen here, and then a bedroom here.
Okay.
Raj Patel has been working on hotel real estate projects in the valley for years. His first ever apartment development is being spurred along by SpaceX. Stargaze will offer 206 apartments that cater to a newer group of wealthier renters in the area.
Brownsville didn't used to be this strong of a market, but ever since they announced SpaceX, there's a lot of new employment and a lot of people coming in, and that's created a lot of demand for rentals. My idea here is, having a community with all the amenities that someone would want, and to enhance their quality of life.
Not everyone feels that SpaceX has been a boon to the area, or that economic benefits, including from the upcoming IPO, are worth the costs.
A lot of people, when you talk to them about Starbase, they point to economic development. What do you make of those arguments?
Well, those people are likely employees or benefiting in some way from the existence of this entity. They're not taking into account the damages that are being done, the wastewater dumping in an estuary, the access denial. These jobs are given to people who come from other places. They're not people from Brownsville, because we wouldn't need to move to a little town on the launch pad.
SpaceX needs to clear the area during Starship operations for safety reasons, but the restrictions have upset a number of people around Cameron County and generated a lawsuit. SpaceX did not respond to requests for comment. The company said it has boosted the local economy, creating jobs and bolstering the tax base, and that it remains committed to addressing environmental impacts and operating safely. Starbase is expected to keep growing. SpaceX wants to step up launches of Starship and hiring at the site, and pretty soon SpaceX will be doing all of this as a public company.
I'll be pretty open. I don't think we're prepared for it. We're doing the best that we can to figure it out, but it's a huge infusion of money coming in. Californians are coming in to my Brownsville, Texas, and obviously it's the IPO. So next few months will be interesting as we're seeing an uptick in economic activity, speculation.
We're looking at the future, and we see a bright future because of the IPO, because of the rising income levels.
Do you think there's any way that Starbase and what SpaceX does can coexist in that landscape?
There is no coexisting. It is a takeover of a heavy industry and the surrounding infrastructure they need to exist. And what we had is not there anymore.